having fun can mean big business.
So how big exactly is the leisure and entertainment sector?
About 5% of our GDP is spent on leisure and entertainment. That's a lot. And that is more than the entire GDP of Canada. Total US GDP is about $23 trillion, which is a lot. But if you take 5% of that, which is how much we're spending on leisure and entertainment, you're talking about $1.1 trillion. Anytime you start talking about trillions, there's a lot of profits being made by somebody.
Senior analyst Tony Sagami, editor of Disruptors and Dominators, guides investors to those profitable companies.
So even with growing concerns over recession and high inflation, people are still spending money on entertainment.
There's a record amount spent on slot machine spending. Theme parks reported a record price of spending for drinks, tickets, everything else. So the theme parks are also growing.
There are many industries that fall under the leisure umbrella. A good way to take advantage is through the Invesco Dynamic Leisure and Entertainment ETF. The top holdings are global brands.
The number one is Yum Brands. That's KFC primarily. Cisco delivers the wholesale foods to the restaurants. And even Manchester United, the soccer football team, Premier League in England.
That's a pretty diverse ETF.
Yes, you can see it's pretty heavy on food. We do like to eat out.
Many in this ETF are large cap S&P 500 stocks like McDonald's and Starbucks.
I mean, these are big, giant companies. So this is very blue chip.
And you can look at individual stocks in popular corners of the sector.
You can really drill down into what maybe the areas that you personally spend a lot of dollars on for your entertainment. For example, like golf, there's Callaway. My head almost exploded. My brother told me he spent almost $1,000 on a titanium driver.
Let's talk about camping. That really became a go-to activity for many people during the pandemic.
That has been a giant increase ever since the COVID crisis. People still wanted to travel and they needed social distancing. So camping has become very, very popular. There's Camping World, that's a fast rising stock.
And there's Yeti, the company that makes outdoor products and accessories. It's a publicly traded stock. Recreational boating is also growing. The global rec boating market was valued at $29 billion in 2019. By 2027, it's projected to reach more than $35 billion, with the fishing segment of the market considered the most lucrative. Across the boating world, you have a variety of stocks to choose from.
Johnson Outdoors for boat motors. You got Marine Max, Malibu Boats, Brunswick Corporation, and Marine Products Corporation, MPX.
And it goes without saying, in recent years, spending on video gaming has skyrocketed.
There's two broad categories. There's the hardware and the software. The software is the games itself. The hardware are the consoles. Both are really lucrative. There is only one that really makes a killing off both hardware and software, and that is Nintendo. They sell the consoles, and they also make the video games that go with it. And it's a Japanese company, and it's traded on the over-the-counter market in the U.S., not on the NYSE or the NASDAQ.
Investors with Disruptors and Dominators own Nintendo.
It's a fantastic company, wildly profitable.
What are the projections for gaming?
This year, we're going to hit about $220 billion in video gaming spending. That's a lot of money. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. By 2030, it's estimated that the video game spending will hit almost $600 billion. That's a lot of money. And we're talking about a 13% compounded growth rate. That's some serious growth.
And that's not including metaverse-related gaming. The metaverse is the convergence of the physical and digital realms. It's the next evolution of the internet and social networks using real-time 3D software. This means new revenue streams for game makers and tech companies and new opportunities for investors.
One of the biggest winners of the metaverse is going to be video games. And so if you're looking for a catalyst for something to really take off and really explode, the metaverse is the dynamite underneath the video game market.
So think about how you might capitalize at your leisure.
Senior analyst Tony Sagami, it is always terrific to see you and to speak with you and get your insights. Thank you so much for making time for me today.
Let's do it again.